Hi, welcome. On this video here, I'm going to be bringing out Koji once again here in a moment, and with Enzo's here as associate trainer to interact with Koji and begin to affect change. And here, in terms of his level of control, understand the one-step method is absolutely a critical part of this. The way that it lines up to get Koji to start to think different. Okay, so here, in terms of what we're going to be doing here today, and again, this is a big focus of this process in terms of even his reaction towards food issues. It's all part of it. It's all part of a relationship, how influence ties in this way. So, but today as we do this, we're going to do it in a very slow, intentional way, so really slowing this down. The idea here is to kind of accommodate without giving him control, but accommodation is just really process this in a very slow, methodical, intentional way, because the faster we go, the more he will trigger off. Okay, so especially in terms of using the muzzle, which you're going to use again. So the muzzle is meant to keep this safe, because the one-step method is very intentional. It turns it into more of a power play by default. Just the fact that you take it one step, the dog senses that. Okay, what's going on here? But he knows. So it really lines it up more. It's more really meant to draw his focus and attention onto the human, but also it's the same issue about power play and intensity. For a dog holding a lot of control, a dog can trigger off pretty quickly. And that trigger off, it may happen here, which means it goes up in the air, he spins around, he's going to have a little fit, and then just de-escalation just through letting him kind of work through it. So it's kind of like a selfish child having a fit. But again, our goal is never to, create that if we can avoid it, but that can happen. And so with some dogs, because understand you're dealing with dogs that are holding a lot of control, and therefore, and this is the problem, is that Koji can look great even if I'm doing a walk with him right now on a leash without a muzzle on, which you'll see. Okay, you'll see me doing that with Koji here during the process, walking him on the street. That he'll be more agreeable anyway, even with him being right beside me, because I'm moving faster. Okay, if you're moving faster with him, it gives him a certain level of I'm moving here right now. It changes the whole kind of context as to that interaction, because it will kind of give him comfort and allow him to be more kind of contented and agreeable, but even while he's holding incredible control. So understand this whole one-step method is designed to bring out the issue, okay, to fix him. Okay, so for Koji for these 2 weeks, you're going to see me doing a lot of this with the muzzle on, because that's the fix. Understand, that is definitely the fix for him. And so, because that's why he's triggering off, because he's lining up in a very intentional way. So Enzo's going to be doing this, going to be coaching him. He's just going to be taking his time, and the goal is going to be doing like the circle method with him, the one step. Maybe adding some downs on every once in a while, or whatever. But again, I'm doing a way just to help him work through this. Okay? Just like a selfish child working through, changing over to a different parenting style. And so there is a working through, and you have to kind of recognize that. So I'm going to bring him out. I'm going to put the muzzle on him, and we're going to bring him out here. We're going to work him for a few minutes. So I'm going to get the muzzle on. Goes on this way here, and just once it goes on, clips on, then it tight. I'm going to do this. I have a leash usually. That's interesting. I went back that time? Yeah. Right, because he sees you, right? He knows, he's his mind in this up as to what this exercise is. So I tighten up here once it's on. Just tighten it up so that he has a harder time to try to, then the remote collar is still on him. So here, I'm going to bring him out for a moment. So I'm going to handle him just for a moment here. And see his tail's wagging the whole time. So I'm going to handle him for a minute because I'm not going to put him into a down here anyway.
I just want to get his peripherals.
Oh yeah, this is good because, you know, as you do this here, you know, he does recognize us both as, you know, interact. So here's a good example. So here he's triggering off. And so here what I'm doing with the leash here and the choke chain is, yeah, just we'll turn that around a little bit. And so here, right here, now here, so right here it came into agreeableness. So right here, notice I locked them in. So I kind of let some steam come out of the kettle. And so I'm going to work with here for a few minutes. Because this kind of happened as they come out here. He triggered off right away. And you notice that, you know, his mouth is moving because, again, that's a tool, right? So, you know, he doesn't like the fact of being brought into control this way. He would prefer that the mouth is off him right now. And so that's another sign, too. When the, you know, his mouth stops moving, you know, he starts to, you know, level down a little bit. So here what I'm doing is, I've noticed I haven't even brought him into right here, right beside me yet. But again, because of how I'm using the leash here right now, ultimately, see, he knows I want him to, and so I'm going to bring him over. I tap him, I'm not even going to push on him yet. So here's the thing, and I took a little bit of pressure off right now, off the choke shit, took a little pressure. Now you look over towards Enzo, I just kind of tapped a little bit, because Enzo is going to handle him here too today, here in a little bit. But we're really going to take our time here, so it's really helpful to have, even have more than one person handle Koji. So to really get him, you know, comfortable with, you know, even other people this way, right, under leadership. And so here at Koji, I'm going to do this from a standing up position, mostly just for this, and then when Enzo takes him, Enzo will probably do a couple of downs with him too. But for right now, you know, I'm just hanging out. You know, because when the muzzle went on, I'm doing the one-step method, it changes the whole scenario here for Koji, right? This is a more intensive power play exercise. Because the expectation is, hey, I'm in full control. And so I'm going to move a little bit here. As I move, I'm just going to nudge him back. So here, all I'm going to do here, I'm not going to be pushing or doing the push-pull. I'm just going to be using the choke chain to kind of nudge and tap him. And so this is like a de-stressing type of thing. Because you know how easily he'll trigger off and start to flip around and spin and all that. So here, the goal here isn't to create that war with him, just to give a certain, this is like having a conversation to say, hey, the muzzle's on you right now, I'm in full control here, and you know, you'll see the tension on him. Like he'll look, you know, he doesn't like this, right? And this is the whole thing with why I'm doing this. Again, same thing here. I can hang here for just a, you know, a minute or two. I'm very relaxed. I do this, I'm just relaxed. I have full control, just one-handing this. Just gonna walk there a little bit. Let's see, I tap him right back. See, he needs this. He needs this. This is very specific. This has to line up, needs to line up this way. Just really slowing this down. That's why his ears are back a little bit.